Hi, my name's Alicia, and you're listening to Infinite Rockett Power. This podcast will be updated on a weekly or bi-weekly basis regarding topics in my life and different aspects and perspectives about life. Today's topic is facade, position, Christian, and opinions. Before I get started with this topic, I want to say shout out to all my healthcare workers. I'm in the billing department, and it takes more than just the billing department to make the hospital world go round. Shout out to patient access, coding, cafeteria workers, EVS, maintenance, urology, cardiology, imaging, medical records, whatever department you're in at the hospital. Shout out to you for choosing to get up and go to work, because if we all quit tomorrow, I don't know what the world would do. So shout out to you for doing it with your heart and having all your mind. With that being said, viewer discretion advised. I'm not sure if there will be cussing in this podcast. I chose today's topic because of the recent experience that I've had with my orthodontist. I feel like light needs to be shed on the lack of empathy that some physicians, specialists, and surgeons have with their patients, and how I feel like this lack of empathy directly correlates with the God complex, doing it with their mind and their ego. Health is your wealth, and in today's society, we rely on physicians now more than ever before. The careers and practices of doctors and surgeons directly correspond with health, and between yearly checkups, unexpected surgeries, and life-threatening situations, years are invested in the practice of medicine and performing non-fatal procedures. However, some physicians and doctors are out of touch with their patients, often dispelling superiority over their patients. All right, my scenario. So I recently had an orthodontist appointment that was a week before, or a couple days before Easter. And my orthodontist, I've been seeing him for the past 3 years, and over the past 3 years, it's like his personality has started to show itself more and more of who he is as a person. Prior to this incident, my orthodontist, he's an older Caucasian man, like in his 70s. And he has really a bad sense of humor, like a very bad sense of humor. Like, it's just not funny type sense of humor. I'm funny, and I have a good sense of humor. So I know when you have a bad sense of humor. So, for example, of a bad sense of humor type situation, like, for example, when Trump was in office, every time that I would, come in to see him or whatever, with my last name being Rockett and everything, he would be like, hey, are you the Rockett man? Like, because, Trump and Kim Jong-un was friends and shit. And I'd be like, no, I'm a woman. And I would just not pay a lot of attention to it. But after a while, I was like, okay, is this that thing where, white men want to look at black women as men, or is that like a joke or what? Because I'm not seeing the humor in it. So yeah, and I had to tell him, stop saying that joke, because you saying it one time, I'll let that slide. You saying affiliating me with being any kind of man after the first or even the second time, that's not, we're not going to do that. Now I feel like this disrespect, and we're not going to disrespect me or any black woman for that matter. And I'm not going to stand here and keep letting it slide or giving you a slide card because of your bad sense of humor. That's not how that works. So I had to let him know, I'm a woman, period. Okay, boom. So after that was squashed or whatever, I feel like since I only see my orthodontist once a month, so I feel like a couple months after that, he stopped joking with me. But now, which was this past week, it was like, okay, I come in on my off day, and he was like, oh, you look real nice. Oh, you don't smell like a goat today. Okay, dude, I don't never smell like a goat. So what you talking about? So that was bad joke number one. So I'm like, okay. And I'm really, to be honest with y'all, I'm really trying to not even be on any being offended type energy. For one, I just had double jaw realignment surgery. That's $100,000 surgery. I didn't pay out of pocket for it, but what I did pay is $2,000 for my genioplasty, and I'm paying. I have $2,000 left on the $7,000 on my braces. So I'm just trying to get done with this process, But I at the end of the day, I don't go for no disrespect. So we're gonna have to figure out something. So he goes on to be like, in his conversation, he was like, "Oh, so you going to church this Easter?" I said, "No." So he looked and he was like, so what, you don't believe in Jesus?" I said, all I said, y'all, was some people believe in Jesus as a person. Some people believe in Jesus as a consciousness. That's all I said. And in my mind, me going to church isn't a reflection of either one of them. Me choosing to go to church on Easter Sunday ain't a reflection of whatever. So the dude didn't even hear what I said, because before I knew it, he was talking about how you plan on going to hell, and how you getting to heaven, and all this extra stuff. And I looked and I said, "You didn't even hear what I said." And he was like, "No, I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?" And I said, "It don't matter what I said. Can we just proceed forth with my appointment?" Because, and it really pissed me off, because what I don't like about some people that affiliate themselves with identifying as Christian, before you can even let the next person even say their perspective on whatever it is, because at the end of the day, we're all kind of saying the same thing anyway. You already go to somebody's going to hell, somehow you get into heaven, which this and what, we shouldn't be having these conversations while I'm at a doctor's practice, number one. Number two, you shouldn't be so emotionally out of control to where you're stepping out of line and we're having this conversation, and then you didn't even hear what I said, so you're not even emotionally intelligent, mature enough to have this conversation, because you didn't even hear what I said. So, and I've paid and invested too much money in my mouth for you to come talking to me about going to hell and this and that. So as I'm getting towards the end of my appointment, the nurse came and asked me, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I'm fine, but I'm really choosing not to be offended right now, because I don't appreciate him saying how I don't smell like a goat, and I don't appreciate him having a conversation with me about going to hell after he didn't even hear my response on what I said. And that's not okay. And she was like, "Well, he has a little, problems with, different patients, and, because he's, that's just kind of how he is and stuff." I said, "Well, that's not okay. Nobody that people are seeing, that people are relying on, that are coming through in regards to their health. I don't care if it's the orthodontist, whoever, whatever type of specialist it is, should be talking to their patients crazy, and shouldn't be feeling like they got this bag so motherfucking secure that I don't have any repercussions behind this badass service that I got today." So what this podcast here is, in this situation, for me, or if someone else is going through this and you feel like you don't have any options because you've already signed a contract or this or that, what I'm going to start doing in my next appointment is I will be recording them. I will be recording them, because I've already let one too many times slide, and I've already let them know this is not acceptable. This behavior is not acceptable, and somebody got to do something. When I looked on this physician's reviews, he done called some patients, told them they look fat like faggots. He done talked so much. He done said so much disrespectful shit to different people, and I'm like, there is no way possible that someone has said anything, like really have said anything, or to where why this man is still acting like this. And that goes to the God complex, because the definition of the God complex is an unshakable belief characterized as consistently inflated feelings of personal ability, privilege, and infallibility. This dude is a whole asshole, and his lack of empathy towards anything is astonishing. So I wrap this up by saying, if you're getting any disrespect from these people that you're going to see about your health, I don't care if they've been in the practice for 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, you need to do something about it. Find you somebody else, take you a recording, don't let them disrespect you. Because just because they've been in that field for X amount of time does not mean that they're gods. They're just supposed to be specialists. Specialist doesn't equal up to God and God behavior and unable to empathize with people that you work with in society on a daily basis. That's not okay. Stand up, say something. Shout out to all my Tauruses. My birthday is tomorrow, May 6th. Good vibes all day. I got more coming for y'all. If you want Spade, Betsey Johnson jewelry, hit up my website, www.prosperityboutique.com. Like and subscribe. Peace.